Today is March 13th, 2026, 11:15 in the morning. We are on the roof of the Johnson family, where we're going to be doing a repairability assessment on that wind creased and damaged shingle marked in X. I have the surrounding shingles marked out and numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All 6 of those shingles directly tie into the shingle book we'll be removing and reinserting. The tools I'll be using to make the repair are a flat bar, soft nosed putty knife, magnetic roofing hammer, roofing snake, an 1.25" per code roofing nails. I want to make sure you guys got a good viewpoint. You guys can view all the work that takes place. All right, so first we'll get ourselves set up with some gloves. And what we want to do is diagnose the shingle. We know that this shingle is marked out in X. It has a large crease through it, and it's a dimensional shingle. The shingle starts here, the shingle ends here. What I want to do first is make sure that it is 100% separated from the material that binds it to books 5 and 6. So we'll start right here on one end. We're going to start at the strongest part of the shingle, which is the double, where the tooth is. And we'll get it free. That was pretty easy. This book's been flopping in the wind. But now I need to do the same things for books 1 and 2. So we'll start over here at the strongest point. Work our way across. Now we'll start right here on book 1. I'm having a little bit of a hard time right there. Try to get this roofing snake. Give it a little bit of lift. Alright, I'm going to go back to my putty knife. Alright, we should have the books free of all the material that binds the books together. Now what I want to do is remove the shingle from the decking. So I'm going to start on one end of the shingle. We'll start on this right side over here. Just working to get it free. Now we'll work to get it free from the fasteners that are in the back. This water pipe here is definitely in my way. Looks like we have a fastener back here that's holding us in still. All right. We have gotten our shingle out. We're going to set that off to the side, do a review on it. Looks pretty good. I know that there's a fastener right here on the top of book 2 that needs to get pulled. We'll get that out of the way. Now we're going to do an inspection of the underlayment, making sure that we have a clean and clear surface for a reinsertion. Oh no, what we see under there is at least one more layer of shingles. I'm not exactly sure. There could be more than one. We know for a fact that there's at least one. We see a nail here that we're going to need to get out. That's going to impede our reinsertion. There's 2. Get those out of the way. Here's 3. 5. Now, the problem lies with this. This double layer, when this book, the red book, was laid on top of, oh, look at that. This shingle book 1 has disintegrated at the seam and come into 2 pieces. That's because this tooth is delaminated, this tooth is delaminated, this tooth is delaminated, and most of this tooth. This book now has fallen apart into 2 pieces. That's most likely because of the double layer. The double layer makes it so hot that these things don't bond. You know, and so when you go to remove one, they fall apart. I would bet. No, this one's good. I would bet to say that there's more delaminated teeth than we see right now, but that's a big time problem. We see under here that we have the double layer, right? The problem is that when we reinsert the shingle, this brown orange book, orangish reddish book, when it was laid on top of these white shingles, they were shot in with a nail gun. That nail gun has the drive to drive the nail all the way through this pre-existing book of shingles. But when we do repairs, we can't use a nail gun, because in order to use a nail gun, we'd have to lift the book so high it would damage the books above it. So we have to hand drive them in, often with a roofing snake, and the nail doesn't go in penetrating through the double layer into the decking. That's a big time problem in repairability. I'm going to move forward with the repair and attempt the reinsertion. However, we already know that book 1 is a failed book. Can you hand me that chalk, please? The areas marked out in pink are delaminated. 1, 2, 3, and partial 4. And we have a fully delaminated seam all the way across there, making book 1 a complete fail. I'll continue on. I'll take my shingle book. I'll line it up and work to get it back into place where it was. All right, the shingle book is back in place. Now I'm going to take the recommended roofing snake. The reason why it's recommended to use the roofing snake is so we don't have to lift books 1 and 2 more than necessary to get an appropriate nail strike. However, we know that a hand-driven nail is not effective on a double layer. So I'll start right here on one end of the shingle. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. We see a small indentation right there, a strike from the roofing snake. You see the fiberglass is now fractured. We do have our shingle book back in place. I want to do an inspection of all the things that have taken place. We know that here is a tear or a small impact from the roofing snake. We'll mark that out with a T and put a line right there. That's where the T is. I also want to run my fingers underneath here to see if we have any material transfer. We do not. We were able to get the shingle out without transferring material. I can see here that this tooth is delaminated on book 3. So in effect, book 1 has completely fallen apart, book 2 has a tear in it, and book 3 has a delaminated T. We'll mark that with DT and put a line to it. Therefore, books 1, 2, and 3 would require a repair as well, deeming this roof irreparable.